Hi, everyone, and welcome to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw. Wendy has spent the last 2 years helping women with various stages of endometriosis to heal naturally after putting her condition into remission. After her own healing success from stage 4 endometriosis and adenomyosis, she's inspired to heal others, and her goal is to help some of the 175 million women know that there is another way other than painkillers, drugs, or surgery. This is the place to be for real talk with real people for real results, so you can learn how to heal your endometriosis naturally. Please note that the opinions expressed in this program may represent options, but are not a substitute for proper medical care. Before starting any new healthcare program, we recommend you consult with a health professional.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this week's podcast and YouTube channel. I hope that, as always, that this recording finds you having a good day today and finding you well. Today's subject is about sensitivity. It is something that's brought up so often with women with endometriosis, and the title of this podcast today, or this week, is called Sensitivity is Your Strength. So this week I have come to, or coming to the end of another 21-day Unstoppable EndoBoss Challenge. And I'm in awe again at the number of amazing, awesome women with endometriosis that I get to work with. It's emotional to help them on their journey and recognize what the struggles that they've gone through prior to reaching out and getting more support from me and deciding to take a new path. I have so much respect for you who are listening and for those, as I say, who reach out to work with me, for your strength. And I hope in time that you, like them, will also come to respect their sensitivity as a strength. It's been hard enough putting my own endometriosis condition into remission along with adenomyosis, and I'm no stranger to the battle that had to be fought, as I'm sure you are as well. A battle similar to any soldier that has had to endure the constant uncertainty and attack, and wishing for it all to end and maybe to win a medal for their efforts. But there are no medals for beating the war against endometriosis. Although I was speaking to my children earlier today saying I'm seriously considering getting some specially commissioned medals for my EndoBoss Masters when they complete their training with me to become an EndoBoss coach, and then present it to them on stage at an EndoBoss conference, so I can bring all you amazing, wonderful and successful women together to celebrate their journey and putting endometriosis into remission. Wouldn't that be amazing to be presented with a medal? And it's not just the physical battle, it's a subconscious and emotional one too, which is so poorly understood. But to feel imprisoned by a disease or a condition is a hard experience to share with those out there who do not suffer from it and know nothing about what it's like to be a woman with endometriosis and what you, if you're listening to this, has to go through on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. That overwhelming drive to break free, cut the chains and have a sense of peace in one's body and mind, perhaps for the first time in decades, and I mean decades. What has truly struck me about the continual working with women and coming to work with me is when I read their forums and I hear their stories, they've been suffering probably like you, not just for a few days in pain, not just for a few weeks in pain, or a few months, or even years. No, it's been decades of pain, and it's so commonplace. It's truly tragic. You know who know me, those who know me know that I suffered for over 33 years myself before being able to put this pesky condition into remission, something I never ever thought was possible to do. And I'm sure if you're listening as well, I'm sure you won't be the first woman to think, but what if it doesn't work for me? I've had so many women start to work with me and go, but what if I'm the one it doesn't work for? It will work when you learn the principles. But it's something, as I say, I never thought I was ever going to be able to do, ever. But it was only when I went back to the very basics of biology and nature that they helped me carve out my own journey to winning the war against the estrogen-dominant conditions. What surprised me the most, however, when I look back, was what I discovered about myself, for it was quite different than what I first thought. I realized the high degree of sensitivity I had was also my strength. It was the sensitivity that led me to discover why endometriosis had taken up residence in my body in the first place. I'd always wondered, why me? And I'm sure you're thinking the same. How come it hasn't affected my friends or my sister or anyone round about me? Why me? I'd always questioned why my mother had had endometriosis, yet she was one of 4 sisters, and none of her other 3 sisters suffered from it. The innate degree of sensitivity with women with endometriosis is almost palatable. I'd always thought it was just me that was this sensitive. I would walk into a room and pick up the vibes of everyone in there. I could tell the couples who just had an argument. I could tell from a distance the person who didn't want to be there and couldn't wait to leave. I could tell the deeply empathetic people who were so eager to please others, invariably those who would not appreciate them or give them thanks. I could sense the woman who was secretly hiding her deep depression with a wanton forced smile. Sometimes I used to feel so overwhelmed walking down the street, looking into people's eyes and feeling their pain of loneliness, their pain of sadness, their pain of loss or aloneness. When I had endometriosis before, I did not know what to do with all those feelings that I picked up from others around me. But I recognize now that I absorbed all of them. I unconsciously took them into me, my thoughts, my feelings, my body, my heart, my soul, my mind. I would feel the weight of the world upon my shoulders. At my darkest point, I would lie in bed totally incapacitated in high levels of daily chronic pain, yet with this burning desire to save the world from their pain. But I could not even save myself at that point. At that point, I did not view my sensitivity as a strength at all. Quite the opposite. I disliked it intensely. I tried to disown it. Pretend to the outside world I was unaffected by people, places, and things. But the opposite was so true. Prior to the 5th and 6th surgeries that would render me profoundly ill, I would wear a navy business suit as a kind of armor against the world, a uniform of protection I could hide behind. Endometriosis in time would strip all of that away. Lying for over 3 years bedridden did something quite profound to me. Apart from the obvious of not being able to work or earn a living and feel ashamed and a failure, the experience stripped all of those false protective mechanisms I had built up over the years right back down. I was pulled back to the core of me, and that was truly terrifying at that point. For I had no guidance growing up on how to put boundaries in place. I did not know what a boundary even was or how to establish one. Growing up, I had been told that there was, inverted commas, something wrong with me, that I was too sensitive, in inverted commas. And that would come to sting like a bee. Those words would cut into my heart as if the sensitivity I had was a flaw. But lying there in my bed after trying to follow the guidance of the well-worn medical machine path, which had totally failed me, I knew I had to do something differently. I recognized that a different type of surgical procedure or different surgeon was not going to get to the root causes of my endometriosis pain. The procedures and surgeons were not going to be able to stop endometriosis returning. I had learned the hard way that in fact I had ended bedridden and developed adenomyosis because of the medical route. Something had to give. I had been too trusting of the wrong people, and most importantly, I had not trusted myself. Even when medical professionals were deeply unkind and almost cruel. You know, the ones who question if there's actually anything wrong with you. Really? Absurd. Do you seriously think that this is an attention-seeking exercise, that you could even make something like this up? There are many more fun ways to get attention, and it still angers me now. No woman dreams when she's a little girl of growing up and having decades of pain and suffering and people telling her she's, in inverted commas, too sensitive and it's all in her head. No, normally it's a fairy tale she dreams for, and of course we all know that sadly that is an illusion and does not exist. But no woman desires to have a life filled with insurmountable pain and have the disdain from others. I work with many amazing women with endometriosis and adenomyosis now, helping them to put their conditions in remission. And I'm reminded every day how they are truly amazing. You are truly amazing because you keep going in spite of it all. And it is your sensitivity, their sensitivity in their bodies, that is their strength. It is your strength. And is why I hope that you will seek me out to help you as well. It is their sensitivity that has kept some part of them in tune with their highly attuned instincts. And I hope that you're recognizing your amazing instincts as well. Instincts that kept saying, this drug is not working, that this surgery almost killed me, or even though the surgeon can't find the endometriosis, I know it's in there. And that is the worst, to be suffering from a condition and having all the symptoms, yet an inexperienced surgeon say, I can't see it, therefore you do not have it. It takes a trained and experienced eye, but even then, 2 ears to listen to your patient, who must understand always wants to get well. But some women give up and stay on the medical hamster wheel, and that fills me with great sadness. For if the 4, 6, 8, 16 or 23 surgeries have not worked already, then why do they keep on going back for more and more side effects? It took me to have 6 surgeries before I recognized that painkillers, drugs and surgeries just did not work for me, and I was getting progressively worse. And I was almost borderline hysterical when, after my 6th surgery, I developed adenomyosis. I could barely even pronounce that name either, let alone understand what was happening to my body. Why was I getting worse when I was supposed to be getting better? I'm not here to bash doctors or surgeons, by the way. They can perform the most amazing feats in this day and age. Accident and emergency treatments are essential in, for example, when you've been in a car accident or you require a transplant. These things are just quite the medical marvel. Yet the medical machine cannot help women with endometriosis to win the battle. They do not help address what the underlying causes of the condition are. They merely try to their best to manage the symptoms. Going back to the war analogy, it's like dropping an atomic bomb in the body. It's so toxic and dangerous and harms everything when you have your whole insides cut open and moved around. Yet when you use your own sensitivity to tune into your body and discover how to do in a way that is gentle and nurturing to you, that you can use your sensitivity as your strength to find out what is going on inside. This sensitivity to tune into your body when you are around certain people at work, friends, relatives, or even close family members. You can develop tools and techniques to start to pay attention to how your body reacts to certain foods, products, environment, and as I say, people in past. For all these elements combined impact a highly intuitive and highly sensitive woman with endometriosis. When once the sensitivity part of you is almost paralyzed and suffocated, you can then slowly move away from that and learn to write down what you notice and then leave it on the page. I used my sensitivity to tune in where I used to tune out, to listen to myself when I used to busy myself, to feel my feelings when I wanted to numb out from them. It was a slow process. My students will hear me say regularly, slow is fast, several times over and over. But it is possible, and that is my message. So if you're one of the many millions of women, of amazing sensitive women with endometriosis, then here is my parting message. Try for one day to befriend your sensitivity rather than run away from it. Try for 1 hour to imagine what it would feel like to have sensitivity to be your strength. And finally, try for 1 minute to imagine how your body would feel to have your sensitivity become your strength and learn how to put your endometriosis into remission and finally be free to be the real you. For 3 years, I was bedridden. I hung on to the hope that God had other plans for me and a greater purpose, and it turned out to be the case. I would not be able to help women like you with endometriosis now had I not walked the walk myself. It is not an easy road, but it is absolutely worth it to be pain-free now and helping others achieve the same. But never let anyone, no matter how close they are to you, tell you in a negative, shaming, and derogatory way that you are too sensitive. Embrace it and love that part of you. Wherever you are on your journey, never just accept or put up with pain, no matter how small, nagging, or irregular. Pain in your body is a sign that there is a message. Use your sensitivity as your strength and discover how to listen carefully for all the answers within you, to you, for your body, and for your life, for actually all answers lie within you. That is the greatest secret of all. And that, most importantly, is how you become a boss of your endometriosis, an endoboss, to your health.
Thanks for listening to Heal Endometriosis Naturally with Wendy K. Laidlaw, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and rate us. If you're interested in learning more, you can download your top 5 jumpstart tips at healendometriosisnaturally.com and jump on the VIP email list. Remember to keep you number one. The world needs a healthy you.